one of the first times that one of the entertainment managers commented on something that I guess I didn't really realize was a big deal was 1 week in Surrey, and it was a mess of a week. We were working with dancers that were completely unreliable, constantly late, it was such a mess. And we had to do these cattle call things where at certain points of the day, during times when we're expecting people to just be coming in after work and so on and so forth, we do the cattle call thing where all of us would be on stage doing a little dance, being super awkward because there's like 5 of us on a tiny stage. No big, but it was a thing. And the cattle calls were constantly running late because one person wouldn't be there and another person wouldn't be there, or they're just running up from wherever they were and they're not ready to go, and da-da-da-da. Mess. It was an absolute fucking mess, okay? At the end of the week, I go to the office, and the DJ who had been handling that stuff and had been dealing with this all frickin' week, he hands me my pay, and he's like, hey, thank you. Thank you for doing your job. I'm just like, no problem. He's like, no, I really appreciate it. Thank you. And going back to actually the dude from the Fox, I don't know if he wants me to name names, but if you're watching this, you're awesome. You're still great. We still love you. I was doing a charity show. At this point, I've been retired for a while, and I haven't been on stage in I don't know how long. And we were doing these charity events, and we did one at the Cecil in Vancouver. And I went on after this absolutely amazing performer. I mean, she was a professionally trained dancer. She just did amazing things. Fantastic. And I was just like, I have to follow that. I haven't been on stage in like 2 years. Oh my god. Thankfully, I had a couple of friends in front row. And the DJ there could tell. He's like, oh, you got your own cheering section. Fuck off. How did you know they're my friends? I could have fans. You don't know. Dick. That was the Cecil. And I think it was like a couple days later we did the event in Victoria. And I was telling the DJ there about having to follow this amazing act. I'm like, oh, thank God, this time I don't have to follow someone that's like so out of this world. And he kind of turns to me, he's like, yeah, but, you know, that's not really important to me. Honestly, I prefer it when people are on time for their shows. So that was really cute. I appreciate that they notice things like that. And when they appreciate it, you know? Because, I mean, really, it is a job, so there is a certain amount of professionalism. And that's why there were some DJs that I really didn't like, because they didn't have any professionalism. You'd be in the DJ booth and there'd be no DJ, and you're like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? There was one who was constantly just fucking around, and he'd come in late. I'm like, I'm sitting there, and he's like, oh, you're really eager to go. I was supposed to be on stage 2 minutes ago. And then he makes some other snarky comment, and I'm sitting there thinking, if I'm late, I get fined. When you're late, can I fucking fine you? Jesus Christ, dude. And it's not like he was even doing anything. I'd see him, like, sitting with these regulars off in the corner, just chit-chatting, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, I'll be here, in my costume, sitting in the DJ booth, waiting on your ass. It's fine. No big deal. And then when you finally come into the DJ booth, fuck around and air guitar. Ass. That was the same dude who would always play the same music from when we did the side stages. Ugh. If you ever wonder why I hate Pour Some Sugar on Me, it's because I had to dance to it every single time he was DJing and did the side stages. The DJ that I liked let me pick the music. Now, there's the good, the bad, and there's also the what the fuck even? Sometimes, even club managers don't know what they fucking want, okay? There was one time where we were dancing at the Blue Zoo in Kelowna, and this other dancer had been held over from the week before. Now, this is what happens when the bar manager or club manager or whatever manager decides to keep them for another week. You know, obviously, ask them, do you want to stay another week? Because they think they're an asset to the club, they're bringing in customers, da-da-da-da. And in this case, I can, in a way, see why he held her over, because in between songs, she would sit and talk with the customers. But it also involved a heavy amount of drinking with the customers, which led to being late for shows, missing shows, not getting up for her first show, him asking me and Jen to make sure that she got up for her first show, and I'm sitting back going, buddy, I'm not a fucking babysitter. Towards the middle of the week, at one point, he starts complaining to us about it. And he's like, oh, what the fuck was I thinking? Oh, why is she here this week? Like, dude, you held her over. You knew what the pros and cons were. You fucking made your own bed. And we're the ones that have to sleep in the same area with it. Come on. God. One thing a lot of people don't realize about dancing is the amount of expenses that go into it. Our costumes are fucking expensive. My hurricane costume, because it was completely vinyl, and that's not a Scorpions reference. It's not a weather reference. It's a wrestling reference. And I did have an edit of his entrance song that just had like the first little bit with, watch it, there's a hurricane coming through. Was it watch out? Or was it look out? It's been too long. I don't remember. That was $350 for one costume. Boots would typically run you at least $100. Oh, the makeup that you sweat off, that you have to wear for like 12 hours a day. Hair care, tanning, because tanning slims you, it looks better, da-da-da-da-da. Never mind the skin damage and the possible cancer and all that. And the fact that that's how I discovered that I have mild claustrophobia. I was in a tanning bed going, it's making sounds, it's cracking. What if it all crashes down on me? Is that claustrophobia, or was that my undiagnosed anxiety? Who knows? It was very fun. And then I went back to the club after my first tanning session, and the DJ's like, oh yeah, you tried tanning? Cool, how'd you like it? I'm like, it was terrifying. Really? Most dancers find it relaxing. I'm like, And I thought it was going to crash down on me and I'd be in a pile of broken glass. It's fine. I got used to it, now I'm fine with it. It's fine. I don't do it much anymore, but now I have to have a light therapy for my hands like this all the time, so good thing I'm used to wearing stupid looking goggles, because now I have to wear them for my UV therapy for my freaking eczema. And the traveling. We had to pay for pretty much all our travel costs. And there's the food. You're usually just dining out all the time because most places where you're staying, you don't have a fridge, you don't have a stove, you don't have anything. The one place where we did have like a fridge and a microwave and stuff like that, and I ended up using my mom's old Foreman grill and taking that with me to some bookings if they had a fridge and microwave and yada yada yada. Yeah, the only place that really had those kind of amenities was Gibson's. That's because it was literally in the middle of nowhere. It was, here's a town, here's this huge ass stretch of highway and forest, and it's there. Nowhere. And the fact is, people don't realize how much money goes into it. One time I was on stage in Campbell River, and I think I was just getting over a really bad flu. I think that was that week. Oh god, it was the worst. I don't usually get flus, I just get colds. But that one was just awful. It knocked me on my ass for the one day. I just spent it holed up in my hotel room feeling like I was gonna die. And then I'm like, well, I have to get back to work. And I'm already a person who overheats easily. Well, when I'm getting over a sickness, I overheat more easily. So I'm getting dehydrated and I'm sweating and da da da. So in between my songs, in my little off to the side area where I have my stuff, like my blanket and where I put my costume and so on and so forth, I had a glass of water and I had this little hand towel. And in between songs, like, okay, sip of water, okay. Fucking sweaty motherfucker. And this fucking guy from the side of the stage yells out, "Hey, don't MC a sweat." Excuse me? And then he says something about, well, at least it's an easy job. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? People don't understand that when you say, excuse me, or the fuck did you just say, it's not the time to double down or repeat yourself. Jackass doubles down. So I'm like, okay. Hey, so, in your job, do you get days off? Consecutive days off? Do you get paid vacations? Do you get health benefits? Do you get WCB coverage? Do you? Well, I don't. Take that for an easy job. After that, I decided to just avoid his part of the stage. And there were these two young guys kind of sitting off to the end of it. They kind of saw the whole thing, but they didn't really hear. And they're like, well, what happened? What was he yelling about? So I told them. And I told them basically the same thing I told him, just nicer. And they're just like, oh, wow. Right. You don't think of that. You always hear that, like, strippers make so much money. And I'm like, sometimes. I mean, it's good, but I was still living in an apartment with a roommate. So I explained to them how it worked, and they were actually really shocked. They're just like, holy shit, we thought you made way more than that. We thought you made like $100 a show or something. No, not even close. I think most features would have made like 50, 60 a show, maybe a bit more, depending. Depends on the person, depends on the place, depends on the marketability, depends on a lot of different things. But basically, when I started dancing, I think I started at 35. Then when I wasn't a complete rookie, it was 40. And then eventually towards like the end of it, I was at 45. And typically for out of town, to kind of balance the fact that you're away from home and you're traveling and, you know, the cost goes up because of where you are usually. And because of the inconvenience, you get $5 on top of your in-town price for your out-of-town price. But then there's all the various fees and such. And then there's different show counts in different places. When I started dancing, show counts were usually a lot better. Like you could do 28, 30 shows for the week on a full shift. So you'd be doing 4 or 5 shows a day kind of thing, sometimes 6 shows a day. There was like one club and oof, on the weekend, because there were only 2 dancers and you were like back to back to back to back to back. It was brutal. It was exhausting, but the money was kind of worth it, so I guess that's fine. It was only towards the end of the week that you were doing this back to back to back to back thing. There, I think it was like a 32 show count, 32. But that was kind of ridiculous. That was when I started, and most places had like full long shifts. Some places had smaller weeks, so you'd have like a 20 show week. There was one place where it was like a back half of the week, so you had 18 shows or 16 shows, something like that. But there came the time where they started cutting shows. They started cutting the hours down, so all of a sudden clubs where it used to be that the first show would be at noon, now all of a sudden the first show is at like 4 or 5 or something like that. They shut down their kitchen. They no longer had a working lunch crowd going on. And then all of a sudden it was, okay, we need this many people for a full show, this many people for a half show. If we don't have this many people in the bar, you don't go on or your show gets cut. Let's just say that doesn't work out super well, because it's basically like the self-fulfilling prophecy of when in customer service they decide to cut shifts because it's not busy. Well, all of a sudden the customer walks in and can't find someone to help, or there's a huge lineup, they don't want to deal with these huge lineups, they're very likely to not come back. So it's that same thing with dancing, of that self-fulfilling prophecy, because all of a sudden people are walking into a club, okay, no one's on stage, no one's on stage, and if they don't see someone on stage within a reasonable amount of time, they will leave. They are not there to pay exorbitant amounts of money for drinks, because those drinks are marked up, because it's a strip club. They're not going to be there drinking your overpriced beer if there's no one on stage. That's why they're there. They're not there because your drinks are amazing. They're your standard fare at a higher price because of the entertainment. So if there is no entertainment, you're not going to keep the asses in seats. Which is one thing that kind of boggles my mind about places like the Paramount, which from my understanding is very much like a lot of clubs work in the US, where you don't get paid for stage and you pay basically like a daily fee to the club for using the stage. I'm sorry, what? The entertainment is keeping the asses in the seats. The entertainment is the reason you can charge like $5 for a bottle of water. And you're not only not paying the entertainment, they're paying to work there. I'm sorry, but I've always found that absolutely ass backwards. And there was a time where it was acceptable to have a thing like a 1 free show a day. I mostly refused to work in clubs that did 1 free show a day, and the clubs that I worked at, through the agency that I worked at, pretty much didn't do it. I seem to recall when I kind of asked the agent about this when I first started dancing, because one of the clubs, it was like the whole 1 free show a day, and they're like, oh, if you just do like 1 VIP dance a day, it makes up for it. No, because I'm still getting naked for free. And then if I do a VIP dance, I'm getting naked for a person and I'm getting paid for that dance. That doesn't make up for it. That doesn't equal it out. I'm still on stage getting naked doing a show for free. What? What is that? How is it that in pretty much every fucking industry that is woman dominated, women end up having to work for free? or are undervalued or are underpaid. How does this fucking happen? We know the answer, but I'm sure it's a myth. Regarding further expenses, there's also the agency fees, which tend to be 15%, plus you pay the GST on that. Yeah, I don't get it either. I never have, I never will. Plus, you're paying the KPAC/SOCAN fee, which is a music licensing fee for the club. You're paying it for the club. And one club decided to raise it to $4 a show, effectively cutting down show prices. Now, this was so fucking exorbitant that even the agency was going, no, you can't, no, I'm pretty sure you can't do that. No, I'm pretty sure you can't do that. So the agency was trying to fight it, and at that point, a bunch of us were on the Naked Truth forums when we were all talking about it, and yada, yada, yada. And actually, the person who was running the website for the agency and doing all their promo arrangements and photoshopping that together and all that kind of stuff, he is also a musician, so I guess he had some layman's knowledge of these music licensing fees things. So he looked it up, and when he looked it up, it basically said that entertainers are not supposed to be liable for these. The venue is supposed to pay for their fucking music license fees, not the entertainment. And he tried to contact them about it, and that went nowhere. They didn't fucking care. As long as they got their fees, they didn't care. It's awesome to be in a stigmatized profession where people just don't give a fuck that you're being taken advantage of. It's awesome, huh? Well, thankfully that one didn't stick, but there are a lot of things about the industry that were just 100% pure, unadulterated bullshit. Did my hair seriously do a thing? See, one of the kind of roadblocks that I had with getting my raise after getting my promo done was the agent would keep going, well, you don't look like your promo. Well, I'm pretty sure I do, except I don't have a professional makeup artist and a hairstylist in the dressing room with me at all times. Oh, well, you know, in your promo, your hair is curly, you should curl your hair. Oh my fuck. I really suck at hairstyling, okay? Case in point, my hair that got away from me and I totally didn't notice until, like, now. This is the best I've been able to do with fucking hair curling in forever. I have never been good at hairstyling. Never, ever. Ever! So for an entire week, I had these fucking hot rollers and I used those, and it was a silly thing because I would do a lot of shoulder stands, so this part of my hair would be on the stage and flattening my hair. I curled my hair for that entire week at that stupid booking, and they still wouldn't give me my raise. I was not the only person that got that. One of my friends was told, you don't look like your promo, and her response was, I don't have an industrial fan with me on stage all the time to blow my hair back. Like, what do you want? Oh my lord. And a lot of times it really was this battle that you could never actually win. I got so frustrated because my hair was black when I started dancing, and I was told that it was too harsh of a look, and either I would have to go completely Elsa She-Wolf of the SS, nope, or I'd have to tone down my look. So, had to bleach out the black. You know what happens when you bleach out black? Your hair is fried. Ugh. Fucking Asians, man. So anyway, so my hair was fried from the bleaching, and I was still trying to grow it out because it had been like yay, I think, or yay when I started dancing, and you're constantly being told long hair, and I'm like long hair. So I'm trying to grow it out, trying to use all types of hair products to fix it. Thankfully, when I went like blonde later, I did find the correct products to help with that, which was nice. Thanks to another dancer, thank you. But at this point, I didn't know. So my hair was fried, but one of the DJs at one of the clubs was like, oh, you know, your hair's getting so long, it looks nice. I'm like, oh, thanks. And then pretty much like right after that, my agent's like, your hair looks really damaged and fried. You have to cut it. Well, so-and-so said it looked nice. Well, so-and-so is a crackhead. Oh, fuck off. So-and-so is really nice. And you're not. Holy shit. Beware of people who seem like they tell it like it is, when the only time they tell it like it is at the expense of someone. They're not telling it like it is. They're just jerks. Anyways, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. And, if you like the things, I don't know on which side it is, but subscribe, maybe, please, if you want. Thank you. Bye. And the cattle calls were also, wow, cattle call. Yeah, that's great, huh? Yeesh.